I do feel like my mic is a little high, but that's fine. I will just not be that excited today. Just be unenthusiastic today. It'll be great. All right. Is everybody good?
Yeah.
I think so.
We're happy?
Yeah.
Excellent. We might just jump right into it today, I think. All right. Hello. Well, welcome to Thermal Talk, the official Thermal Australia podcast. On today's podcast, we're going to hear about another first-time story. We're going to give you some more building tips. We're also going to debate about whether Macs could ever be gaming PCs. And we're going to finally pick some more cool beans. As always, you're joined by me, your host Sarah, and today I'm also joined by the following people.
Jono?
And Michael.
Hey! I feel like I maybe should have... You have seen a few of these, Michael, so I'm assuming you knew the...
Ooh.
Aircon. Love it.
Special
Not sure
fourth
if that
guest,
got
the
picked
ghost.
up. Yeah, the ghost of the ceiling is here. I don't know if they picked that up, but if you did, that was our ceiling. No, I think it's the air conditioner. It's shutting down. But yes, welcome, Michael, to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having
your
me.
First appearance.
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming on to the episode. How are you guys doing today? How are we feeling? How are we doing?
Yeah.
Episode 33, double three.
I was surprised that we jumped right into it. Usually the episodes that I have seen, there's been a bit of banter up top. And I was like, oh no, did I ruin that thing we got going there? And we went straight into the intro.
Yeah, absolutely did ruin it.
Yeah.
It's all ruined. It's ruined. Every episode is ruined.
I did have a bit prepared, but it's fine.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I mean, you can do the bit if you want.
No, it's too late now.
You reckon? I mean, we could still, the other people might want to know.
Well, we're cutting it pretty short on
That's
time
fine.
today, so I'll save it for the next time.
Okay,
I'll build the anticipation. and then,
okay, teaser for you, everyone at home. You can, next episode we have Michael, you might get some sort of elaborate thing that you prepared earlier.
Some mysterious thing. No idea.
Mysterious
It's my
thing.
bad.
Do I regret
we're
saying
running
this
late,
now?
so-
Yes, indeed.
We are sadly running late, and it's all Jono's fault. But in Jono's defense, he did bring the microphone.
It's back. I don't know if it really makes a difference to my voice, but here it is. So
It's back.
Yeah.
And we're never letting Jono take it anywhere else again. We cannot be trusted.
Rest in peace, Lapel. He was a good boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lapel did a good job.
it worked out well. Thank you,
Lapel did.
Road, and your quality
Thank you
stuff.
for helping us out there during that.
Use code thermal take on road. With
Well, we've got a mix.
Road
we've
don't
got
like us that
we've
much.
got road.
We do.
Car
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
but we've also got the beautiful Audio Technica stuff when it comes to the
Yes.
microphone. So
Yes. So we like our Audio Technica microphones too.
yes.
Yes. So, Jono, did you have a story you wanted to share? Or did you want to share this later? I know you had a story you wanted to share, and I love stories.
Oh, yes. I guess it's more, maybe I could feed it into our first
You going
topic.
to feed it in?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll slot it in there somewhere.
Slot it on in there.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, the first thing we're going to talk about today is Michael's first time. So one thing we do whenever... I love wording it like that because I feel like everyone immediately is like, what? It's like,
Sprung on me.
Everyone who comes on the podcast for the first time, I make them tell us their first time story, which is first time using getting into PCs or gaming or PC tech, things like that.
That's the asterisk, yeah.
That is, it does have a little caveat on it. It's not weird. So I just thought, for a getting to know you episode, did you want to tell us about your first time getting into gaming? I know you're more of a gamer than you are like a PC builder.
Yeah.
But, if you did get into PC gaming, how did that come about as well? If you have a bit of a story.
Yeah, so primarily always been more of a console gamer. Like that's just what gaming is to me in my head, like on the couch with a blanket and a cat and a tea or something. But PC gaming's always been there as well. Like I remember my old school, like mum had one of those brick white computers. We had like the educational games on them as a kid.
Yes.
So it's always been there, but it's been more a bit secondary, I suppose, especially now that I've gotten older and have had my PC used more for like uni and work related reasons. I'm probably playing PC games a bit less than usual. But yeah, very well versed in the world of PC games, I guess. But the tech side, definitely a bit lacking and looking to learn a lot of stuff from you guys. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Did you start off with like do you remember like what the first ever game you actually played, or like who got you into that, or?
Yeah, so like literally don't remember a time where I wasn't playing games. Like it's just been there forever, and it would have been pretty boring answer, but like Super Mario Bros on the original Nintendo, because my dad and his brothers had a console.
Oh, nice.
So kind of grew up with that in my hands, and know that game like back to front now.
Yeah.
And went on from there, got my PS2 and my Game Boy Advance, and that kind of kicked off the console love from then, and just ran with it and been playing them ever since. Yeah. What about you guys, out of interest?
Mine was, I think we've gone back a few episodes
First
now.
ever episode.
Yeah, I think so.
There's not a video though, so maybe we can reiterate.
Oh, true. There is no video
There is
to
no
that.
video.
Well, I guess like for those who are wondering, my first time was through my nan.
Yeah, which I love. I love that because like no people would say that.
Yeah, so like my nan introduced me to PC gaming because she introduced me to like PCs. So she had a Gateway. I don't know what it was. It was a Gateway something, or Netscape even. It was pretty old, pretty ancient. The beige box with the CRT monitor.
So good.
Yeah, so we played educational games, but when I got a little bit more into it, you could rent PC games in the day.
Yeah, you could.
So I used to rent from this little where like my family's from country Victoria, and so the town is Wangaratta. Right now it's quite a big, sizable city, but back then it wasn't. But there was this one PC store, and you could go and rent video games, like either console based or PC. And I think I rented Age of Empires 2.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's one of the first games I played that I would consider a game. Otherwise, it was all educational based stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think from there, I got like Earthworm Jim.
Classic.
Cool guy right here.
Nan bought me that, and that was good stuff, except I couldn't get past the first level.
There were so many games I had like that as a kid. Like Toy Story 2. I don't know if any of you guys ever played Toy Story 2, but that was a whole big meme with me and my younger brother because we had it on the PlayStation 2. And there was this one level called Alleys and Gullies that we could never get past as children. And I have a feeling I've told this story in the podcast before. If I have, tell me in the comments. But one night we got the PlayStation up again, and we decided we were gonna this is like recent. This is like 10 years ago. We were like, all right, nah. We're now like 15 and 13. We can do it. So we like sat down, and then we got like halfway through, and we were like, we don't have a memory card. We can't save this. So we stayed up till like 1 a.m. to finish the whole game. And we were so triumphant when we did it. We were like, yes, we never finished it as kids. But we were just so excited that we got there as adults. So almost adults. So that was my game I couldn't finish. It was so annoying.
I'd like to think you like denied yourself watching Toy Story 2 up until that point so you could like figure it out through the game.
There was just, I don't know what it was. There was, because to progress each level, you had to get a certain amount of Pizza Planet tokens.
I do remember this game on console.
Yeah, and we just,
Was
for
it
some
PS1?
reason, I think it was PS1, and we played it on PS2 because it was backwards compatible.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was just this one level, Alleys and Gullies, that just we couldn't get enough Pizza Planet tokens to progress, and it drove us nuts. So, but good ending. We did get there.
In the
which
end.
is important. Yes. For me, it was my dad. My dad has always been a big tech dude, and as a kid, I was growing up we had 3 PCs. Because he just loved them, and I would use them for hours. I used to play The Sims, which I loved, the original Sims. Then I also grew up playing games like Battlefield with my dad and my brother. We'd do LAN sessions, and we'd play Battlefield Vietnam, which was cool. So that was how I got into it, and just followed that.
Pretty cool. Pretty hardcore.
I know. You're here with your worms or
Yeah,
I'm just here Battlefield Vietnam. Yeah. Never heard of your Age of Empires, mate.
Yeah. Well, I guess Age of Empires is still a little bit more on the violent side for a game, but I wouldn't put it in the same league.
Yeah. I played GTA as well, so do think that.
But first person shooters was definitely off the cards.
Off limits.
Because this was through my nan. So my dad and my mum didn't really have an issue with censorship for me as a child, but my nan did. So considering the PC was at my nan's for a long time,
you had to.
She had the control
was the
over
boss.
what content I was able to play. So
Is that why you only play Warzone now, to like make up for that lost time?
For
or-
lost
I must
time.
only play first-person shooty games now.
Yeah, now it's just violence.
Yeah, because you did COD 4, Gears of War, and now
Yeah.
Warzone. So
Yeah,
you
well,
just,
pretty much. Like, if I can't shoot a person in the face, I don't want to play
I
the game.
just not interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's why we can't get you on Stardew Valley because you're
Yeah,
like,
oh,
where's
yeah.
the shooting? I don't
Yeah, yeah.
understand.
Earthworm who?
Yeah, nah, not me.
Yeah.
Alrighty, cool. Well, I guess we'll jump into the next thing I want to talk about today, which is something that we started doing last week, but I want to do this with everyone, which is what do you wish you knew before you started PC building? So if you missed out last week, I had Alex and Nick on, and we talked about the things that they wish they knew before starting. And it's basically based on a blog post. If you want to check out the blog, it's blog.themotech.com.au. Please check it out. I write things for it, and so does Michael
Yeah,
sometimes
I've
as
done
well.
it now.
Look at that. And I have pictures now. The little usernames have pictures, which makes me happy. You won't care, people at home. Anyway, so basically, I just want to hear something that you guys wish you knew before you started to build PCs. And now the interesting thing about this is that, of course, we've got Jono here, who's, how many PCs do you reckon you've built in your time, Jono?
That's a good question.
I reckon you're between maybe Nick and Alex, because you've built a lot for filming. So I reckon it'd be like
Yeah.
Nick, you, Alex, maybe Jillian, then me.
Maybe,
and-
yeah.
Yeah,
It would be in the hundreds somewhere.
it'd have to be.
I just don't know where
Yeah.
that would sit.
Yeah,
I worked here for 8 years, been
making content.
making, like even before doing video
Mm.
strictly, I would build PCs for photography reasons or for marketing photos as well,
Mm.
or for expo events.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, it's quite
Easily.
a few. Lots. I've seen all sorts of stuff.
Mm.
I mean, I've been building GPUs. I've been building PCs, I think, since about 2005. That's when I think I
Yeah.
built my first one.
Dang.
But
bad.
I didn't have a dedicated video card until the 4890s came out. That was like my first,
Oh wow.
which is like 2009
Yeah.
or 2008, maybe. I don't know. But it's, since then I've been building
bad.
PCs, so.
So
Yeah.
at least 7, you'd say.
Yeah.
What?
At least more
At
than
least
one.
7.
Between 1 and around 7 maybe. Around there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Nice.
high hundreds, but
Yeah, I would say easily. 100%. And then, as I mentioned last week, I've built maybe like 4 or 5. And I'm feeling good though. I'm happy to build more. So I'm feeling confident. But then we have Michael here, who,
Yeah.
how many pieces did you build?
Big old 0.
Goose
Goose
egg.
egg.
Oh yes.
So I
Yes.
feel like it's cool though, because it means that you can approach it from you're in a point now where you're doing a lot of research and
Yeah.
you're trying to learn a lot about this world, and so I feel like you can actually approach it from a point of like what is something that you think is vital that you now know that will help you to build your first PC. So yeah. So what do you guys want to know? Like for me, last time I gave an example, so I feel like I should give another example. So the other thing I wish I knew before starting to build, even though I technically did know because you guys pointed it out to me, Jono, but you do not have to buy the most expensive stuff in the world. When I was looking at upgrading my PC at home, I just automatically went, well, I guess I'll get the newest stuff because I have kind of old stuff, so I guess I'll just get the new stuff, right? And I remember talking to you, Jono, and talking to Jillian about it, and you guys were just kind of like, well, unless you're going to upgrade your monitors as well, which I wasn't planning on doing, getting the fanciest, newest graphics card, if I could get one, which I couldn't anyway, would basically be pointless because, like, you wouldn't get, like, your monitor wouldn't be able to support the graphics card, so you're not really getting... What's what I'm looking for? Like value for money in a way, because you're not even getting what the card can give you because you can't actually see it.
Yeah, for
You know?
sure. I think I'm going to pretty much expand upon, because I think it's the most important part, like what you've said, is what I would tell every beginner
Yeah.
getting into PCs, especially for your first time. You start delving into the world of YouTube.
Yeah.
And you get all of these build guides, and they tell you this is what you have to do, so you stay strictly to that. And they're going to, generally they're working with sponsors, because a lot of these channels are not just going out and buying this stuff.
That's
They're
it.
not exactly the same level as you. They get given stuff, so it's always new stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's always going to not always be the latest like flagship stuff, but it's definitely high up there.
That's it.
And so you need to take a step back and actually think about what you're going to do. So like applying this to gamers, PC gamers, you start thinking about what types of games you're going to play, and also if there are other things outside of gaming that you're going to do. And so once you work out what you're going to do 95% of the time, so 95% rule, which you can apply to like almost everything you purchase, then you can start really figuring out what you really need versus what you think you need.
That's
so,
it.
When it comes to ladies' graphic cards, you're like, oh, yes, I definitely need to get this 3080 if you can get your hands on one. But the problem is, and I bet that you'd actually only use a 24-inch 1080p monitor. And at that point, it's like, why?
What's the point?
Like, yes, you're going to get more frames regardless. That's a given. But do you really need a 3080 for a 24-inch monitor? No. Could you bring down the graphics card and then bring up the monitor? So maybe you bring it down to a 3070 and put a little bit more money into a 27-inch 2K monitor with 144 hertz because you're going to play FPS games.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're not even going to play FPS. Maybe all the stuff you're playing is RPG stuff.
Just playing Stardew Valley.
Yeah, so like 60 hertz will get you by. And maybe you do a lot of content creation. And so you want an IPS panel with 60 hertz. You can get them for $400. You don't need to worry about high frame rates because you prefer color accuracy.
That's it.
And you just play, RPG games. And then it rolls into like CPUs as well. You don't need to have the latest CPU. You can for sure, but you've got to remember CPUs. If you're on the Intel side of things, you're going to buy a CPU and then you're going to buy a motherboard. And then in 2 years, you're going to need to do that again if you want to upgrade.
That's it.
So are you wanting to always pay the best?
Upgrading it? Yeah.
You can always just get middle of the road and then figure out, hey, you know what? Actually, it's kind of bogging me down.
Yeah.
2 years later.
That's
now
it.
you know, okay, the stuff I do requires a bit more power. So you're going to go for the next one up.
Yeah.
That way, you're not always just buying stuff because everyone tells you to buy stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're spending money where
You just don't need to.
you don't need to. You can put it into other things, like a really nice case. A lot of people, when they put together a part list, they like pour all the money into the hardware. And I totally get that. It makes sense. It really does. But then you'll get to the case and you're like, whatever is on special.
Whatever's like $89.
And you've just forked out for this 3090. You've just gotten this top of the line, AMD CPU.
Yeah.
And then you've now put it in a hot box with no fans, and it's just going to overheat and throttle. And it's like, you won't know that though. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think trying to even reach out to Facebook groups, although that can be quite toxic. Maybe you can reach out to our Instagram, our Discord, things like that. When people ask for recommendations, generally it's like met with, you could swap this out, you could try something else. But I could always sit here and say, do your research, but that's like it's not really a good answer. I hate giving that answer. If someone says, do your
Google
research,
it.
and it's like, why am I asking the question?
Yeah, I get that.
But just like think about what you're going to do 95% of the time, and then go from there.
Yeah, do the build around how you're going to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do think there's a lot of pressure. Like, there's a bit of pressure for people. They see pictures of people's fancy water-cooled builds, and they're like, oh my God, my PC should be like that. And it's like, your first build, like, nah. Like, you work up to that anyway. Like,
yeah,
chill.
I mean, like, I guess, like, it goes in the same with mountain bikes. They say your first mountain bike is not really your first mountain bike.
Yeah.
It's the one after the first one you buy.
Yeah, when you've learned everything and you've,
and you've figured it all out. And you're like, this is actually that. Like with mountain biking, there's different disciplines, and with gaming, there is different types of games. So you might realize that you love racing car games, and so you kind of want a high frame rate.
Yeah.
Or you might only like RPG stuff. I'm not saying RPGs don't benefit from a high frame rate, but
what are you gonna use RPGs?
Yeah, I don't. Or real time strategy, things like that. You know, where you could sacrifice a bit of hertz. So I've lost my train of thought, but
you were really confident while you were saying it. So that's what's important.
That's what matters, the gusto.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to have that confidence.
Yeah.
That's it. How about you, Michael? What's something that you've learned that you're like, I'm glad I know this now. It's going to make it so much easier.
Pretty noob answer, but just knowing what everything in my PC does now.
It is a good feeling, isn't
because
it?
I have a pre-built at home, and it has like the glass panel on the side
Yeah.
that's obviously you can see through. And looking at it, I say a year ago as to now, it just looks like a computer to me, for lack of a better answer. Whereas now I'm like, okay, this is that part. That's what this does.
Right?
And sort of getting into that world of looking at individual parts and deciding what I can and can't upgrade, or what I should and shouldn't upgrade. And just sort of thinking about how I'd go about sort of tinkering with it now.
Yeah.
So
totally.
I guess to like rephrase the question as someone who doesn't know a lot about PCs, like what am I looking forward to or not looking forward to with building one, would definitely be like the cable management aspect. I'm getting a bit spooked by that.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
knowing what everything does now and how it all clicks in and stuff, as someone who installed RAM the wrong way the other day. But don't worry about that.
That was a good one.
John was like, oh, it only goes in one way, so you can't get it wrong.
And he's
But
like,
I
well,
found a way.
time to prove
Or
wrong.
like, I mean, to your defense, you didn't put it in. It just like
Yeah,
sat on
yeah.
top of the dim
Yeah.
slot.
Okay.
kinda-
You didn't hear the click.
No,
You
just
gotta
sort
hear
of
the
jammed
click.
it and thought that was good.
Oh.
It's funny because both Keely and Michael did Michael jumped in afterwards and like,
I
I've
just
seen what
copy-
you've
yeah.
done. So
I'll
I'll
just
just
copy
copy
you.
it. So I'm surefire to.
Yeah.
That's-
And then
Oh,
I
no.
took a closer look. I'm like, oh god.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You've somehow done the impossible.
But now that I've heard the click, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's what we're going for.
That's what you're gonna listen for.
So yeah, just knowing where all the parts go now, and just looking forward to cable managing and then figuring out how it all connects together to the power supply.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
we have a good video for that.
Hit up Google.
Hit
it's
up,
like first on there.
Like
Yeah.
and subscribe.
That's like I was gonna say. I feel like the video you did that we're still waiting for a part 3 on. Still, it's been
yeah.
like 6 months.
Forever.
Part 1 of that's really good for anyone out there who's having a hard time like trying to decide how to do the build for what they're going to use it from. Like as you
Yeah.
were talking before, like catering the build to you and what you want to do. Part 1 of that's really good because you go through like this is what they're going to play, this is what kind of build we want, so I'm going to go through and find the parts that suit this. And I think that was a really good way to show how you should cater your build to you and your usage versus like just buying what's the top of the range, because it's not, like I said, even though they're the best, they might not be the best for you, you know.
Yeah,
and
for
that's what you need to do. Buy best for you. That's it. Cool. Alrighty. Well, I guess we'll jump on to the next thing I want to chat about today, which I just thought this was really funny. And because we talked about this recently, I can't remember who it was. Who did we recently who had recently admitted that they used to game on Macs?
Jillian.
Was it Jillian?
Yeah.
I swear someone brought it up to Jillian, and then Jillian was like, oh yes, I used to do that.
Confession.
Yeah, it was a confession time situation. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about this because I swear we were talking about it recently. But so yeah, Intel and Apple are having this little fun exchange, which I thought was interesting. So Apple launched had this little campaign. They brought back the guy from the I'm a PC, I'm a Mac. And they did that again, being like, I'm a PC and I'm really slow. And they got this guy dressed all like in a little suit and basically saying that like the experience is, you're going to be slow and this and that. And it was interesting. And I was like, oh, okay. But then they then Intel got Justin Long, who I think apparently originally played the I'm a Mac guy.
Yeah.
And then got him to be like, I'm
Yeah.
a PC now. and basically the main thing they brought up in that little ad they did was that, the PC laptop can do all these things, and then they were like, okay, here's the Apple MacBook, and I have to use 15 other things in order to do the same things that this one thing can do. And basically this idea that like, I just thought that was really, I loved watching those, they were great. But yeah, Intel was basically being like, this idea that like no one's gonna game on a Mac. Like it's not for that. No one's gonna game on it. No one's interested in gaming on any Mac products. You guys should just let that go. Do you guys think it'd ever be possible for Mac to somehow make it to be the thing to game on? Could you ever see that happening?
I don't really think so. But more because of the audience it caters to.
I agree.
Like where Apple have situated themselves and where they believe that their audience is definitely doesn't align with gaming too much.
No, it doesn't.
You think Apple and think Mac, and you do tend to go towards the MacBook, so the laptops,
Yes.
and then you just start to think about, entrepreneurs, creatives, anyone that's kind of not going to bunk down and play games. And if you are, you're going to play like really easy stuff that you can get in and out of. It's not worth, I guess, anything AAA or something like that. So I don't know. I guess where Mac sits is definitely not where you would put a lot of you could game on a Mac, and you can. There are some games for Macs. I can't remember if I'm probably wrong. I don't think Fortnite's on Mac. Oh,
I know The Sims 4 works pretty decently on a Mac, on a MacBook. So I remember when I went to America, I brought my old MacBook with me, and my friend and I, when we were bored, would just play The Sims. I love that.
Love it.
Well, because everybody else was like going out every night, like getting drunk. My friend and I just weren't interested, so we would just stay in the hotel room, watch American TV, and play The Sims. But joke's on them because they all got really sick. So I had more fun.
There's where Sims
Travel halfway across the world to simulate life.
That's
the living.
Well, you know what? The Sims didn't have a holiday expansion at that point, so it was fine. I wasn't quite missing out. But anyway, it worked pretty well.
Yeah, I guess that's as a weird one. I love those ads though. It took me back because I remember watching I'm a PC and I'm a Mac sort of thing, and then watching the back and forth. But then, the way that Intel has approached it is quite smart. And I love, when it comes to Mac or Apple, you have two choices versus you have a bazillion, which could be, overwhelming in itself. But it is funny because there's going to definitely be a PC laptop for somebody.
Yeah, that's it.
Whereas you can only choose out of this one or this one, and what color would you like?
Yeah.
I think the customization is a pretty big part of it because with PCs, you can obviously open them up and tinker with them all you like, whereas Apple, at least in iPhones, and it's probably the case for MacBooks and Macs as well, they don't really like you getting under the hood. Like you lose your warranty and stuff as soon as you start opening it up. And there is a big crossover between PC enthusiasts and gamers. So you're kind of taking that part away from the experience. And they've also just never really marketed themselves as for gamers. Even on the App Store, the top games are like your Angry Birds and stuff. They're not too interested in trying to capture that audience that are into your shooters, your Warzones, your whatnot. But they probably won't be overtaking PC anytime soon, but they could definitely try a bit more.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's interesting because when you do think of Macs, you do think of that sort of the Genius bar and how it's all sleek and and it just doesn't feel like a gaming aesthetic at all. It just, the way that they've always marketed and the way they've built their kind of brand, it just, to me it doesn't lend itself. So if they wanted to, they'd have to go hard in the gaming, the gaming direction, That being said, there's some of the, like I said, I could get The Sims to work. And I'm sure you get other games to work. Didn't Jillian manage to actually get something working? I swear she said she actually managed to sort of get a game working.
She played
somehow.
an FPS game of sorts, but I just can't remember. I want to say it's Day of Infamy that she plays, but I don't know.
That sounds like something she.
I'm not entirely sure. She's into a World War game.
She
Battlefield Vietnam, perhaps.
No, I mean, if only. What a game that is.
If something's going to run on Mac, it's probably that one.
It's a great game. It's worth running. It really is. It's just so good.
I guess that's the other thing. Just a lot of games aren't supported on Mac. So
that's right.
If you have a Mac and you want to play this game that's just come out, you can't. Yeah. So it'd be nice if they did have a few more options as someone who enjoys video games and has a Mac, because it is really limiting to have that happen to you, I imagine.
Yeah.
I think I played, actually, there was Unreal Tournament.
Yes.
The beta or something.
Yeah.
And that was playable on Mac. I remember playing that in my hotel in Taiwan a few years back. I was desperate and I needed something to play. People were going out late at night and I'm like, nah, I'm not into that.
See? Right? There's something about playing a game in a hotel in the middle, in a different country, that's just, I don't know, it's kind of comforting.
We had done all the socializing, and once you've been to, Computex and you've spent 4 days.
Yeah, you're done.
Talking to everyone.
You're just done.
I just want to...
Yeah.
I want to get away, please.
Thank you.
And yeah, I don't have a Windows-based laptop with me.
Yeah.
I love my Mac for all content creation stuff and the battery life.
Yeah, it is good.
But yeah, I tried to play Unreal Tournament and it was okay. I mean, the keyboard kind of sucks for it.
Yeah, it's not really good for it at all.
You definitely needed a mouse, so I had to go buy one. I was in Taiwan, you know,
Yep.
PC Central,
Wow.
so easy to buy one
Yeah.
for like $3 or whatever.
Nice.
But yeah, it wasn't a great experience. I would have,
No.
you know, and that could be limited to the fact that I have a 13-inch MacBook. So
Yeah,
I don't
true.
know.
You're just there with your like monocles.
Yeah, you know, like
trying
trying to like, oh yeah, this is great.
This is fantastic.
I mean, it wasn't, you know, my finest hour, but I still enjoyed it.
Well, you
compared
made
to
it work.
Going
You've
out,
got
and
to.
eating stinky tofu or something.
That's
so.
right. That's it. All right, cool. Well, sorry, Mac. You might have to work a little bit harder. Sorry about it. Not that, look, let's be honest, not that Apple needs, not that they're strapped for cash or anything. I'm sure they'll be
Yeah.
fine
Well,
without the gamer market.
I don't think they'd care about the whole gaming one. They'd
Nah.
just like, oh, okay.
Okie dokie.
Tell us something we don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't
That
think
thing
they'd
we
care.
don't make any effort towards. Oh, can't believe we don't have that. Oh, boy.
They got us
no.
good.
Oh, that's a burn.
I actually did get tipped off that Steve Jobs is listening to this podcast right now, so
Beyond the grave.
and he is
Oh,
rolling
boy.
right now.
Oh,
so
Steve.
He's
Look.
really upset.
I'm sorry. We don't have nearly enough turtleneck sweater representation on this podcast either. None, like barely any.
covered for flannels though.
We are very covered. But who like, is there someone who famously used to wear flannels a lot? Because they'd love this podcast.
Jimmy J. Flanagan.
What?
Almost had me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, is
They
there
had us in the
actually?
first half, I'm not going to lie.
It really was. I was like, really, was there actually someone?
He's going in.
Oh, there we go. All right, cool. Well, it's time for everybody's favourite segment that we do. Cool beans.
Cool beans.
Jono, you could do the actual
Beans.
cool beans.
Cool beans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Cool beans.
Cool-
You kind of looked at me there
Cool
like I had to say it
beans.
now.
Like, you got to join in to the cool
Come on, man.
beans. Gosh.
Hot Rod,
Peer
greatest
pressure.
movie on earth. Yeah.
No, it's not Hot Rods anymore. It's
No?
yours.
No, it's
You've
mine.
made it your own. It's yours now.
I can't take that.
Nah, you
I
can.
can't do it.
Nah, you can.
Andy
They
Samberg.
created it, but you perfected it.
Oh yeah. I've
You
like
know?
actually encapsulated
Yeah,
it and taken it with
exactly.
me ever
Yeah.
since that movie was released.
That's right. It's just
Yeah.
been your little guy.
Cool beans.
All right. You guys know what Cool Beans is about, right? You've
Yep.
done Cool Beans.
Yes,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
what's
I've
up.
heard the
I've
legend.
done a bean.
You've heard
the
you've done a
myth.
bean.
I've done a bean.
You've done the bean. Once
I've
you
yet
go
to
bean.
bean.
You've yet to bean. Oh, all right. So who would like to pick their bean first? It's my favorite thing to say because it's not even like bad, but like you all take it as that way. I'm just asking who wants to pick their bean. I don't quite understand why.
I guess I'll go
you're
first
taking
then.
This.
I'm not 6.
Yeah.
Now, will I be able to open this jar? That's the
Hey,
thing.
you meant to not look.
Oh,
You
I
just.
just went straight for yellow.
He doesn't know
That's-
what the topics are.
I don't know, yeah.
Neither
Have
do
you
I.
watched-
It's not like I know the
Yeah,
topics. and
but,
I'm like, I really
it's
want to talk
like-
about
it's
cyberpunk. I'm going
part
straight
of
for the
it.
yellow.
It's part. You're meant to not know what bean you pick.
Look, I'm going to say something that might be a bit
randomness.
too spicy for this podcast, but like I like a jelly bean fine.
Yeah.
But on the tier list of lollies, it's probably down the bottom.
You don't
for
like
me.
jelly beans.
I do not like them. They're just fine.
Well, what's
I'm just
okay.
saying I wouldn't pick them.
Yeah, I'm just saying if I had to pick it, it wouldn't be a bean that I would pick.
Hmm.
Well, what's higher than jelly beans then? I'm
I'm
now
a big
curious.
chocolate guy, so
Oh, just
Caramello koala or something would be there. We talked about having
yeah.
Easter eggs in there before the
Yeah,
pod started.
yeah. I was
so.
thinking we could do Easter eggs. Do different like
In
the
this
different
room, they
colours.
just melt.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, they might just become like a Easter solid at the bottom there.
Yeah.
Hot eggs,
Pick out
perhaps.
the goo. That's
Yes,
fine.
it'll be fine. Which section of goo? Don't look at your goo. You can't. You need to pick your goo appropriately. All right. So, recently, now this is great. I'm actually so glad you picked that one because
I'll accept your apology if you're
something.
ready.
There's no apology. You're doing it wrong. I'm glad you cheated the system because it has benefited me. So, one thing that is often up for debate in the office, and one thing that I have been just awfully abused for, is my choice of internet browser. So everybody else in the office likes they're like, oh, I love Google Chrome. Like Google Chrome is the best.
Can you tell she doesn't like it?
And,
Completely unbiased.
So yeah, I'm biased in this situation, and so I'm like the only one who uses Firefox. But then Michael joined us, and he said the following words, which was, "Can I install Firefox?" And I was like, "Yes, you can."
First thing I installed on the computer.
That is correct. So recently, a study found that people will say, like, people think certain browsers will be faster if they're told they're faster. So it's actually really not a whole lot about, like, they're both about the same. But if you read enough articles or you read enough things that say to you that a certain one is better or faster, you will just believe that, right? So there was a study done where they had like, I'm pretty sure they had like a bunch of people. Yeah, so researchers rounded up 1,495 participants, many of which arrived to the study with the preconceived notion that Chrome is faster than Firefox, right? But then during the study, they were told, no, actually, here's proof like Firefox is faster. There's absolutely no proof. But they were then 18% more likely afterwards to endorse Firefox as being faster. So like they were just told, no, Firefox is faster. And they were like, oh yeah, it is. It's faster. So like that's all it took to convince people to switch to a different browser. So what I'm saying is, Jono, why won't you join us?
Because I was Firefox, but I am very invested, aka Google has a very strong grasp on me.
What is
in the Google, ecosystem. Like I don't think I've ever heard of the Firefox calendar. So
I just have my own calendar. Why do you need so much from a browser? Like just like
I love it. Well, I love Google Chrome because I like to know that my RAM is being used at all times.
All of it. I like every bit of it.
You've got to get your use out of it. You paid for it. So.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
Like I just want to open up my Control-Alt-Delete performance tab, see
50.
RAM at like 8 gig, and it's like I got 3 tabs open.
Yeah, and it's great.
If you're not
Good
using
experience.
RAM, are you really using your PC?
That's it. I mean, you're not. You're gonna get your money's worth. You're right.
I did hear downloading RAM on Chrome is faster. So
It's overall way faster.
I don't know. I think Mozilla Firefox at one point just wasn't at the same caliber of Google Chrome when it released. So aesthetic-wise, I love the way that Google Chrome looked. And then it seemed faster at the beginning,
right.
With the way that Google Chrome would, I guess, store page data or try and like make it into like a light version of whatever the page was. To be honest, now they're probably exactly the same.
I think they are almost exactly the same.
So, and I don't really care about the speed. I just more so blame that on your internet provider. Plus, I bet you the speeds in terms of like when they were faster was like milliseconds.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you really care about that? No. But just like the ecosystem that it now has. Or like I have my Google Chrome account and it syncs, and I'm sure Firefox does this now too. But it syncs across, like if I go log in on another PC, it'll bring up all my bookmarks, all my tabs, things like that. And I feel that Google Chrome did it first, and then Firefox copied.
Right.
And so when you go buy Tim Tams, do you go buy Black and Gold, or do you go buy?
I don't think Black and Gold make a Tim Tam.
When you watch Cool Beans, do you watch the podcast or Hot Rods?
That's right.
That's watch
true.
Hot Rods.
We are the Black and Gold version of Hot Rod.
But yeah, like that's. I think like now that I'm used to it, I'm never going to change back. So.
That's fair.
I even gave Thunderbird a shot too.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Because I really like the icon.
It is a nice icon.
So,
you're not wrong.
like
a good icon.
But yeah, like the ecosystem on Google just works well. You've got Google Home, and then my phone, I've got premium Google email addresses as well that work for business suits that I use for my side things, and Firefox doesn't offer that.
Yeah.
So
basically, Google has just everything.
They own me.
Google owns you, absolutely.
Yep, and I will go to the grave with
Google.
Google copyright.
That's right.
Terms and conditions stamped on my butt or whatever.
Officially buried by Google.
Yeah. Why won't you guys change?
I mean,
a real
you're selling
question.
it to me pretty well.
Well, I was a Chromie-Homie for a while.
Oh my god.
Chromie-Homie? I've never heard that before.
I just made that up. But,
oh my god. I love that.
for like a good 10 years. And then literally what we were talking about, I think I read on a Reddit forum once that was like, oh, you get more viruses on Chrome. And I was like, that's it.
Done. I'm out.
That's all I need to know. Firefox downloaded. It's got a little fox on there that I can look at every day.
That's all. That's all.
I don't know what the
just
Firefox.
via the browser, you get more. You get more viruses.
Exactly.
That's good stuff. Whoever wrote that scam article was great.
They know what's up.
At the bottom of it, it's sponsored by Mozilla.
Paid for by Mozilla.
Yeah.
Didn't even look to import my bookmarks or anything. I literally just started fresh
get off this.
that one comment.
You gotta start fresh.
I love
So I don't know what the Firefox equivalent is of Chromie-Homie, but that's what I am now.
Fire Foxy Lady.
That's me.
Oh, is it a PC? Political correctness?
I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else that goes with Fox. Yeah, I was also a Chromie-Homie. So can't say it without laughing. And I think I moved over because of what you said, the RAM. It just would just eat up.
Yeah.
And I used to have pretty average RAM. I've upgraded since, but back when I only had just really average RAM, I'd have a tab open, and of course that would mean I'd have 15 tabs open, because you just have one, there's actually 15 running, and then I'd have like Photoshop open or something, and I just couldn't do anything. It was just painful, and I was just like, nah, can't do it. And then I switched to Firefox because that didn't happen, and even though I've now upgraded my RAM, I'm just kind of like, I've committed now. I've committed. This is what I'm doing.
I wonder who the covert Internet Explorer user is.
Or the Microsoft Edge user.
Well, sorry, I think that's what it is now, right?
They've got higher use than Firefox do now. But I'm going to put that down to like everyone's 84-year-old grandma getting a laptop.
Yeah, like, oh, it's not Internet Explorer. It's Edge now.
Yeah, it's Edge.
Great.
It's all
but it's
completely
also
different.
because probably it comes to the point where when you type in a different browser to download,
it still counts.
It's like, are you sure you want to download this Explorer or whatever? Edge is actually 10 times faster.
I think it actually does do that.
It does do
Yeah,
that.
it does.
I laugh at it every time I go and
It's
install
like,
Chrome.
please, man, just use Chrome. And,
Do you reckon they count, like, you know how they're being like, oh, this is how many users it has every year. Do you reckon it would count if you use it to download another
Probably.
thing?
It's probably where their numbers
So that's probably where they're getting it from.
It's like
Everyone
a
just
magazine.
uses it. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Opera, is it people still
Oh,
using that? Is
yeah,
that
and
how-
Safari. I guess Mac users
Yeah.
will use
Yeah.
Safari.
Although
Although I installed
I don't.
Chrome onto my MacBook.
Yeah. Same.
So, yeah, sensible. Anyway, so install Firefox, everyone. That's what we've come down to. Don't be a Chromie-Homie. Be a foxy lady. All right. Jono,
Oh,
time
yes.
for a bean, sir.
Also, when I ate mine before, I didn't pay attention to the mic, so you might have had some free ASMR in
Actually,
there
so
for
far
you.
it hasn't been too bad for
No?
that, so it's
Okay.
been good.
Green bean.
Green bean machine.
Yep.
All right, so
I'll smash this down.
this one is just weird. So, this might cause some PTSD for me and Jono, because we recently we looked for people like Michael by putting up a job ad, and that was a whole thing. So there's a job listing right now for Minecraft. They're looking for a professional Minecraft landscaper. They're having a problem because kids keep applying. So I just thought this was really funny. They're just saying they're wanting someone to they're just wanting someone to, from a British publication, are wanting someone to do a bunch of things on Minecraft, and they're having problems because kids are doing it all the time. And some of the things kids are saying, I'm 12, is that okay? I can work on weekends, 6 to 7 on weekdays. I mean, that's not bad. Look at that kid go. On your Nick. I hope you succeed. This person said, I've been playing Minecraft almost every day since I was 7. I'm 10 now.
What a pro.
I mean, yeah. Not bad.
In the womb.
What is someone yeah, I don't know. People are just applying or wanting to apply for this job, and they are children. And I just think it's freaking adorable. So, yeah, guys, I mean, do you guys want to apply for a Minecraft landscaping position, or do you have any 11-year-old friends that you know would want to apply for this position?
I'm good.
You good?
But, I find it interesting that they put out a job listing for Minecraft landscaper and expected anything other than what they got.
Point.
I feel like if you're going to advertise, like, I want dancers who know all the moves to the Wiggle songs, like, you're going to get kids applying.
Like, what? I'm getting 10-year-olds? This is weird. I don't understand.
So,
Yeah.
best of luck to them, though.
I mean, I hope they find their landscaper.
There are, I don't know if you've seen some of those Minecraft builds on YouTube, but
Some of them are nutty.
Yeah.
Like, there's some skill there. So, I mean, if you're 7 and you feel that you're skilled enough to do that, I mean, power to you. Because at this point, I still just make box houses in Minecraft. I haven't evolved.
I'm not a.
Have you played Minecraft ever?
I played it briefly.
Briefly?
Yeah, like when it was. I don't think it was a real. Like, it wasn't a game. Okay, like wasn't a.
No, it was out of
published.
beta in 2011 or 2012, but it came out.
Yeah.
The alpha was 2009,
Yeah,
so it was
that's,
around.
that's
4
about the last time I played it.
Damn, you're an
Not my
OG.
thing, yeah, so I think the graphics haven't come further than. No, I'm kidding.
Like,
RTX Minecraft.
It
but,
does look really good. I'll give him that.
It's just not my thing. But at the same
Not
time,
enough shooty.
Yeah, not enough shitty.
That's right.
Always building. That's why I hate Fortnite as well.
That's fair. I hate that too.
Complex.
Yeah.
Just to bloody shoot someone.
Yeah.
What is this crap?
I remember I went back onto Fortnite after, because I played Fortnite. I'm similar to you on Minecraft in Fortnite. I played that when it was like, it was mainly just save the world. Like that's when I had it. And then the Battle Royale happened. And I remember getting on it about, I'm gonna say like a year later, just being like, after I'd stopped playing, just being like, oh my God, I wonder how this is now. Yeah, like I saw one person after like about 20 minutes of running around seeing no one.
Yeah.
And I like shot at them. And like I did build a little ramp.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just built this like 15-story mansion. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll just jump off the cliff then.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I
it,
don't
I'm
really
out.
know what I can do here. It took me 10 minutes to build that. You took you 4 seconds to build that.
I hate it so much.
They're so fast.
Yeah.
It's insane. I don't know how they do it.
But this job
ridiculous.
ad, like, maybe, what is the problem with having a child as your...
I think because it's
Hiring.
illegal.
Well, I mean, like, I'm sure
It's
they
probably
have
up there.
parents
What's
or
so
guardians.
wrong with child labor?
Yeah, but what about
why can't we get on board with child labour?
well, like, actors, child actors, they exist.
True.
How do they
True.
get money? Is it illegal? Or
I
it's
think
Hollywood?
I don't know if they
anyway.
get paid directly. I think it's like they get paid, like it goes to like a fund. Then when they're a certain age, they access it.
Yeah, so what's wrong with doing that?
Why can't you do that for Minecraft?
Yeah, like, I mean, you're appealing. It's Minecraft. Come on, the demographic. Are you like legit? Oh, we actually want a 28-year-old who would do this full time. No, you're going to get a whole bunch of tennies saying, I can do this.
Yeah.
And they're probably really, really good.
I was going to say probably some of them are actually
you
pretty
know,
decent.
and so just do whatever you need to do on that side of things. If it's like pay a fund, I don't know how that works, but pay a fund or get their parents or / guardians to, I don't know, be the payee.
Yeah, but like, how do you go to your boss and be like, hey, look, Derek, I want to hire this 12-year-old. Like, how do you say that and not get like laughed out of the building or get the boss really concerned about you and your
I don't
well-being?
know. Are they like they're hiring for a Minecraft landscaper? Like that's what.
Not too many people
And
would
then-
have that in their resume
Exactly.
ready
So
to
I
go.
don't think that'd be too close-minded because it just doesn't make sense. It's like we're hiring someone to landscape in Minecraft, but no, we're not going to get any talented individual. We won't
So, like-
think about that.
Okay, here's the job. The job listing is for a company that is it's called Watch Shed, and they cover all things sheds and gardening, right? And they want people to evaluate a client's current setup and provide creative feedback, provide clients with suggested setups that stay within their budget and explain the reasoning, create multiple designs for each client should they desire a redesign. So they want to do that in Minecraft.
Why?
I don't know. It does seem mod, and you can't even make sheds.
Because I think it's something kids would pay for as well. Like they build a house and then they want a critique of it. So then you'd have another kid who is employed to come in and be like, that's a good house, or like too much dirt, 7 out of 10.
That's
Or like,
That's terrible.
yeah.
They're making £50 an hour for this.
dude. That's dope.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
That's pretty impressive.
Is there a demographic really on Minecraft?
It just like surely
It
there's
seems
a,
like they should go like a 3D modeling
I feel like
software.
or even The Sims. Like The Sims 4 has a really nice
Oh,
building.
yeah.
Like why not go with that?
Age of Empires map builder.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
come on, guys.
clearly the superior landscaping platform.
Yeah, just throw up some wood,
Just
wood
done.
walls.
See?
Perfect.
Ew.
Sort of
Mine some gold.
on topic, I have a little bit of a story here that I have pushed so far to the back of my mind.
And
that
we've
you've uncovered.
resurfaced it. Yes.
So
I love doing
I now
that.
have to face this now. But I was like, I would have been like 13, 14 at the time. And this was when like Minecraft mods were really popping. So like
Oh, yeah.
2012, 2013, the Let's Play community had exploded. And people were making custom maps that you could like download and then install onto your Minecraft, and then you'd play through them like a video game within a video game. So
Yeah.
people would devise levels and stuff that you go
That's
through.
cool.
So there's no building or anything. You're just literally playing a game in of Minecraft. And it got so advanced to the point where like people had voice acting and like music
Oh my
somehow like built
gosh.
into the game. So like you'd talk to NPCs and stuff, and then
Yeah.
have proper voice acting and stuff. But it was made by like YouTubers. Like
Yeah.
there wasn't
That's
obviously
so
there was
cool.
no company who was doing this stuff.
Yeah.
So they were putting calls out to the internet, being like, "Hey, if you want to be like a voice actor in our thing, like apply
Like,
here."
yep.
And I was like, "Hey,
Oh my gosh.
if you'd like me to like do a voice or something, I could do that for you."
That's great.
And I didn't hear back.
Oh no. I thought
And
you was
I just want to say, if you're out there, I'm coming for you.
You know what's safe.
This is my path towards you.
Yeah, that's right. This is all taking steps.
I have a thirst to voice act in Minecraft. and
Yeah.
it will not be quenched
Yeah.
until I do it. So I don't know. We'll see what we can happen. I don't
Mine
know.
has a
if,
very particular set of skills. All Minecraft related.
but that's
apparently.
that, and I never thought I'd be telling that
There
story
you
to
go.
anyone.
Well, now everyone
much
the
less on a
internet knows.
podcast. So yeah, fun.
Preserved forever. I wonder if like we'll get like reached out from someone like, hey, I actually made that mod. Like that would be great. Do you know
And
what
I'll
was cool?
tell them no.
Nah, wasn't. Never heard of him. Never heard of it. I know like Minecraft Hunger Games was a big
that
thing,
was
and I'm pretty
huge.
sure that started off a lot of the Battle Royale stuff.
And the Battle Royale stuff.
Is that what did I say?
It just sounded like butter.
Battle Royale? I have a terrible problem where like
The Western Star.
Battle Royale sounds like a really good burger, like a buttery.
I would have a Battle Royale.
Butter Royale.
Yeah, the Royale with cheese.
Yes. Yes, please. All right, I reckon that might have to be about it, guys, because we are running a little bit late, so we'll have to wrap it up a smidgen, maybe a bit earlier than normal. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed your time on the podcast, Rooney. Thank you for picking some beans. And for those of you watching, thank you for watching. If you're watching the YouTube video, you made it all the way to the end. Thank you so much. Feel free to chuck us a like or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That'd be really cool. Also remember to check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and now on TikTok. We're on TikTok now.
We are hip with the kids.
Hello, fellow
We
children.
are. Wait,
Hello, fellow
is that how
kids.
so
Did you just dab?
You just that's gonna be in the thumbnail.
fantastic.
I was looking away. I'm kind of glad now.
So
You
had a good
missed
run
it.
on the podcast.
Yeah.
One episode, never to be
coming
invited
back.
back.
What else? Just join our Discord server as well. As Jono was saying earlier, it's really great. We can help you out with tech stuff, just have a chat. So we've got a meme channel now. You can send memes, safe for work memes though.
Memes.
And that's that it. Did I say everything?
I think so.
I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coolies.
Subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Subscribe to God to your Patreon.
Accessible via Chrome only.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a little ban on it if you try to get it from anywhere other than Chrome. So, yes. All right. Well, on that note, see you
Peace.
next time.
See you later.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Remember to like the video if you did enjoy it and drop a comment down below discussing your thoughts of the episode. And subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Also remember, these episodes come out a week earlier in audio-only version, so jump over to our Spotify, Apple Podcasts or SoundCloud and you can all listen to this episode a little bit earlier. We'll see you next time.